Hello and welcome back to Troupe Talk. My name is Chase.
And my name is Cohen.
I wait every time now.
Hunter.
So everybody welcome our guest Hunter today. Hunter Adkins, the Mad Lad himself.
Hello.
Yeah. So, tell us a bit about yourself. Just introduce yourself.
Okay. I graduated from Reynolds High School as a part of the class of 2019. It wasn't that long ago. Why do I not remember the year?
It wasn't that long ago, but it feels like long ago.
Yeah, wow, it really does. I go to Roosevelt University in Chicago, and I'm studying acting right now. Getting a 4-year Bachelor of Fine Arts in acting. That's the plan. And wow, Zoom has been rough.
Yeah.
Especially when like all of my classes are
acting classes.
Yeah. And meant to be physical in person. It's very strange.
So, Chepe, we all love Chepe, right?
Chepe.
He asked us a couple of questions.
Okay.
What's your favorite Mario game?
There's a lot of Mario games.
There are, in fact, a lot of them.
I think this might sound basic. I think Odyssey right now.
Yeah.
Is just like I think objectively one of the best. Bowser's Fury, I haven't played it, so I can't really give my opinion on that. Bowser's Fury is
really good, and I agree with all the people that are saying, oh yeah, this should be the future of Mario, but also there's a lot missing from it that Odyssey has. Like, I feel like the movement could be a lot better, like an Odyssey, so.
Yeah, that. I think they, obviously the cat is kind of their go-to movement option for that, but I like stages in Mario games. I like different... Yeah.
And there kind of still are stages. There in Bowser's Fury, there still kind of are stages. Like you'll notice that like each different zone is separated into a bunch of little mini stages. So
okay.
I unfortunately beat that game in 2 days when I shouldn't have. I just thought, you know what? I'll stop when I get to the Metro Kingdom. Turns out that's like third to last.
Odyssey?
Yeah.
That is halfway through the game.
You just mentioned you're going to college for theater, right? So tell us a bit about that. What's the experience with that like? Zoom aside.
Yeah, Zoom. Oh wow. Okay, it's been a journey, that's for sure. The freshman year was very fun. Mm-hmm. I don't think there's a single day where I was like, this isn't worth it, right? But with Zoom, there have been days like that of like, wow, I'm paying money and coming here and like,
oh yeah, you're paying money. Oh, that's even
it's a really weird like predicament because in your head, I've talked to a few people, not a few, I've talked to a lot of people about this, and everyone's like, I don't like, why am I? It's so rough to justify that in your head.
Because like at least we here at RHS, like we're doing this for free. Like we're not paying extra money to do this. No.
Right. It's strange over Zoom because I think there are some fun things you can do just with like camera and visibility and all of that. When like recording a scene, right? But it doesn't
compare
like the stage, and obviously we're not like professional like videographers, right? So we don't have that that skill to maybe incorporate that in some Zoom scenes. So we're pretty much just working with either phones or laptops, whoever has what, and just kind of winging it. It's really strange.
Yeah, Stevenson's been trying to be really kind about like having access to all the materials we need. So like if someone has not really the computer side, but like if someone has has only a phone or only a computer, we like she tries to get us the tools we need to make that work. Like, oh, if we need a webcam for our computer, then yeah, she'll like get that for us. Or if we need a microphone, she'll get her hands on it. Like she's been really kind about that, and it's really cool.
Yeah, so that's incredible.
Do you like your professors, Hunter?
I actually really do. They're very challenging, and I love it because we butt heads a lot. Specifically, one of them who I'm not going to name because they don't like being named and stuff. But
yeah,
we are very like strong-willed against each other. Not like against, but like we will challenge each other's
just ideas and stuff.
Yeah, like I don't know if methods or ideology is like the right word for that, but whenever one of us says, I think we should do this, then the other one will be like, well, what if we do this instead? And it's not so much a clash of anger as more of just
it's like, a clash
what
of
if we can
let's build on each other's ideas.
Yeah, exactly. We keep building off of each other, and it's really fun, and it can sometimes other students get annoyed because we'll just like ramble, but I kind of don't care.
That's what honestly I was hoping you would say. Just like, I kind of I don't care.
It feels bad. I feel bad saying that, but sometimes like I just want to learn that next thing, and I don't really I can't wait. I don't have that kind of patience.
Yeah,
maybe I'm thinking about right now. Like the visualization I have in my head is just like you saying something before the end of the class or the end of whatever, like walking out of the room, just being like, "Okay, we're doing this tomorrow," or like, "We're doing this whenever." As you're ready to walk out, there's like, "Oh, how about we do this?" You just turn around slowly. Are you challenging me?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
We talked about Chepe. This is not a question that he asked us to ask, because we ask it every time we do the podcast. Cheesy bread or garlic bread?
Oh, that's a tough question.
Yeah, it's been a couple years since you've been a part of this argument, hasn't it?
You're hitting me with the real hard balls here. Wow, this is...
Wow.
My heart says garlic bread.
Yes. Yes.
Is this bad?
Yes.
Owen, are you upset?
No, I said yes. I like garlic bread as well.
Okay, I thought Chase was okay. All right.
Yeah, we here we here are actually on Team Garlic Bread. But I respect people if they choose cheesy bread.
I know.
The only option.
Respect people. I've just decided.
Oh, true. The only choice there that I dislike is not because I necessarily dislike the food, just I dislike people choosing it when I ask the question. Cheesy garlic bread, it annoys me to no end.
When they say both?
When they say both, yeah. That's not because that's not the question. That's not the question, is it?
Yeah. Yeah, people always do that. Like, would you rather be invisible or fly?
Well, why can't I do both?
I'd fly while invisible. Thanks. That's
I'll fly so fast makes me invisible.
Oh, okay.
How do you like to spend your free time? Like, what do you do as like a hobby, as like a chill thing? Like,
so, as a chill thing, I am a nerd at heart. I play video games. I think it's a very slept-on art form. Genuinely, this is not a bit. Like, there's so many games that have taught me some crazy life lessons that I don't think I would have learned just from watching someone else in a movie. And I think it's interesting. I think acting and playing video games give me a very similar feeling because, like, I am that character.
You embody it, yeah.
I can feel that. Yeah,
I think of a game like God of War, right? The 2018 one. Mm-hmm. And it evokes a lot of emotion for me. And getting to live through that experience and step into this person's shoes instead of, like, if this were a movie, I would watch them on a screen for 2 hours and I would maybe get connected if the writing is good.
And then you move on.
I move on, right? But with a game, I'm spending, like, upwards of 40 hours, maybe more, maybe less, as this person. Yeah. I am this person. I get to experience what they're experiencing, and when they go through something, I feel it, you know?
Yeah.
And acting does the same thing for me, so I just... It kind of is like while I'm not acting, I get to still be a character in a video game kind of thing.
Like, that's the kind of where the term comes from, is the role-playing game, where you play your role. You embody the character that you can either make or the character that's preset, but they have their character traits that you can build upon.
Right. Right, and you see them grow over time, but you experience
Right.
that growth with them. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like some person I watch this analysis like when it comes to games. An issue that like some games have. Like this is gonna become a super nerdy talk for a minute.
Oh yeah.
But
You're good. I love
there's
it.
there's two types of like role playing games that you can build. Like there's the Skyrim like Fallout, Outer Worlds approach where you have a blank slate. You decide
Right.
what you want to do. You are that character. You can decide what you want to do. You can decide what path you take. Whatever. You have no preset things you have to abide by.
Mhm.
And then there's the rules that's like with God of War or Witcher 3
Or like
or
Final Fantasy, or like
or like Red Dead,
I'm-
where like
yeah.
you have a character with preset traits, but you can choose where to guide them, and their actions always reflect their core character traits.
Yeah. And as you progress through the game, you see them grow or fall depending on the character, and it is crazy. It's crazy. It's like getting invested in a show.
Yeah.
Right. You are going through with this character's life, and at the end, they are going to be a totally different person. If it's a good show in game, maybe I had nothing else to say there.
Oh yeah.
that was the point I wanted to make.
Yeah. So have you played Celeste?
I haven't, but I've seen a lot of like speedruns and gameplay of it.
But do you know anything about the story of it?
Not really.
So
Not much.
The actual story, because I mean, it's like it's a tough platformer. Like that's basically that's all you need to know about the gameplay. It's a tough as nails platformer. But about the story, it's about this girl who's kind of going through some stuff, and one day she decides, you know what, I need to get outside. I need to do something. I need to get out of here. I need to escape. So she decides to climb this mountain, not realizing that it is a magical mountain that will make all of her depression into real, like, tangible things that
will manifest her emotions.
Yeah, like actual manifestations of her emotions that will try to hurt her and kill her. And,
yes.
Yeah, so and that's basically the plot of Celeste, and it's really, really good. There's some really like accurate depiction of like depression. There's literally a scene where Madeline has a full-on anxiety attack, and like people who've seen that cutscene are like, yeah, that's portrayed really, really well. Like that is a good representation of an actual anxiety attack. And it's just really well done. The gameplay is fun. Like when you actually play it, the gameplay is also really fun. You might find yourself really frustrated at first, but when you actually start to get into like the mechanics of the game, because there are like 3 things you do in the game: you jump, you dash, and you climb. But there are nuances to doing each and every single one of those things.
Direction, space.
Yeah, or like there's there's this thing that was originally like, this is also a really cool thing. There's this thing in the game that was originally considered a bug by the development team. And the speedrunning community refers to it as wave dashing.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's funny that they call it wave dashing because Smash Bros.
Smash, yeah.
Yeah, but you dash into the ground, wait like a quarter of a second, and then you jump, and it allows you to like travel some pretty far distance while still maintaining your dash.
Vertically or horizontal?
Horizontally. Okay. So. Okay. I know, for vertically, there's also, like, this thing that's not a bug called a wall bounce. But the cool thing about the bug, like, with the wave dashing, is that when they released, because they released an extra chapter of the game after the game was released, Chapter 9, right in the middle of that chapter, the game teaches you how to wave dash and implements it into the actual game.
That's so fun.
It's so cool.
When developers do that. Yeah. I love when developers do that.
Mm-hmm. Overall, just... It's literally my favorite game, and I just had to recommend it. It's really good. So
great, so good. Yeah, my favorite game is definitely God of War right now. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for the second
I
one.
want a PS4, so I can't play it, but it looks great.
Oh, it's so gush. It's gush. It's so good. I don't know what that was.
Gush.
It's so gush. It's like it's a family game.
Yeah. I mean, it is about family. It is about family.
Yeah, that was half the joke. Wow, that was okay. Okay, go off.
Was that a good impression? That's all I thought about.
Pretty good, yeah. Oh my gosh.
Boy. That's all you hear. It's the best quote in the entire game. Just, boy.
I think the best quote is "Don't be sorry, be better."
True.
When that line hit, I was like, "Oh, That resonated with me for a while." I thought about that line. Ultimately, not good parenting advice. But a really good line.
So, Hunter, if you had to pick a favorite show, straight show or musical, what would it be?
Oh, my mind went to TV show. I haven't seen a show in so long. I don't know. Okay, I don't know if I have a favorite right now, but the last one that I saw that I like over Zoom assistant directed for, which was fun, was called "In Arabia We'd All Be Kings." That's a really good play. It's about this just random people that happen to all be connected. They're not really friends. They just know each other through various means. Bunch of people in New York who all have really messed up lives. One of them is like cheating on their boyfriend or girlfriend, depending on how you cast it, or partner, who because that person was in jail, and so they want to move on with their life. They kind of haven't thought about the person's in jail, but then they come back, and there's people who are addicted to certain substances, and it's like this whole mess about the the hardships of living in a place where people don't necessarily care about what happens to you. Right. So
where you realize how small you are, like how
exactly. Yeah. How. Yeah. Like, it's like
on a wide scale, how meaningless you are.
Exactly, and addiction plays a big part in this play, and there's some powerful stuff. Really love that show. I don't know if it's my favorite, but when I saw it, even though it was over Zoom, it still it hit hard. The cast and crew did a really good job making sure that this was still believable and not just a cheesy we get it, it's over Zoom, it's going to be worse than it would be in person. No, it still felt very impactful. It felt good to be part of that. That was a really good show.
That sounds cool. If you had to, also speaking of theater, if you had to pick just a favorite song in musical theater, what would that be?
Oh man, I don't listen to musical theater songs
I know.
so much.
I'm hitting you with the hard questions today.
Oh man.
All I'm thinking about right now is, look at me, I'm the king of New York.
I know. When I think favorite show, I think Newsies. I think out of all the musicals I've seen, Newsies has been my standing favorite.
I haven't seen it, but a show that seems really fun is Something Rotten. It's composed by Andrew Lippa, same person who did Wild Party, Big Fish, Addams Family.
So Something Rotten. That's the show with God, I Hate Shakespeare, right?
Yeah, exactly. I think musical. I think the song is actually just called Musical or A Musical or The Musical or something, right? It's 7 minutes long. And it's just this parody / homage to every musical, every mainstream musical that's ever existed, and it's just very fun. Because in that time, it's set in the Elizabethan era with Shakespeare and all that, and musicals didn't exist then, And so someone gives him the main character, a vision of like, you have to make a musical to make your theater company do well. And they don't know what musicals are, so they sing a song about it. It's great.
This is the other question that Chepe actually asked us to ask. Crunchy peanut butter or creamy peanut butter?
I like creamy.
Yeah.
I don't know a single person who enjoys crunchy peanut butter.
I prefer creamy, but I've actually had crunchy a couple times. It's pretty good, actually.
Okay. I think that's what I meant. I don't know anyone who prefers crunchy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like mixing of textures like that. Like, it feels so weird to me.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with boba tea. Of you're drinking, and then all of a sudden, soup, like something goes right up a tube, like your throat. You're like, I can't do boba tea. I can't do crunchy peanut butter.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about this one person who did the worst prank in the world, where this guy, like, his roommate was super adamant that, like, yes, I only like creamy peanut butter. So for what was it? He diced up a bunch of peanuts and he just uncreamied their peanut butter, basically. He diced up peanuts and mixed it into their creamy peanut butter. So when they went to open it, they're like, "It says creamy on it. Why'd you have chunks?" And he's like, "I don't know, man. I don't know."
That's so sad. Put like the seal back on it. How did he not figure out that?
Well, some of them were already open. So he's opened up his already open jars and just like put in a bunch of diced peanuts, stirred it up for a little while, and he's like, "Okay, time to watch just everything unleash."
The chaos unfold.
Beyond friends, is there anything you miss about being here at Reynolds? Let me think about that one. Let me.
No, I'm just kidding. I think
no.
doing so many shows a year was super fun.
Yeah.
They don't really do that here. You gotta be like in one show a semester. And because the theater conservatory is directly like that's your school as well. So unlike Reynolds, which I think isn't it now like technically an independent like business?
Kind of, yeah. It's not paid for by the school. It's not paid for by the school.
It's self-funded.
Yeah.
Not so much here, right? So we have to abide by some university rules, right? I don't know exactly what those are, but I have been told that because of that we can't like extend the amount of shows that we can do a year.
Yeah.
So unlike like I think my senior year in high school, I did like 5 shows plus 1 act. Because at the time we had like the advanced theater production class, right, where we did those shows.
Yeah.
And on top, so that was 1 a semester for that, and on top of those, the normal 3 shows a year, and on top of that, 1 act. I really enjoy always having like something new to like memorize and a new character to like explore and all that. Yeah. I like that kind of that like grind, I guess. And so I do miss that. Obviously with Zoom as well. I'm opting out of the Zoom shows in my school. I just don't want to do that. Yeah. I'm already on my laptop 24/7 doing like homework and actual classes, and I don't want to spend the rest of my free time also on a laptop doing the same thing.
Yeah.
But hopefully that will change next year because I'll be able to do shows, and obviously actual like theaters outside of school will open up as well, so I can maybe get a professional theater job.
That would be fun.
Cool.
Yeah,
that would be cool.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Speaking of a professional theater job, what's your dream role? What character would you like to embody?
Chase, you are hitting me with the hardest of hard questions.
All of them, every single one.
Because these are things that I don't think about, and so I'm like, Okay, dream role.
Yeah, I don't blame you, by the way. This is not a question I think about either.
You know what? Oh, you know what was actually really fun to think about pretty often when having to like pick a scene for class or a monologue or something, right? Chase, do you remember Farinelli and the King? We did that scene.
Oh, I love that show. Was great.
I would love to play the King in that.
Yeah,
that would be so fun.
I'm trying to remember.
I love that.
Was it because we did the scene together? Was it me as Farinelli?
Or Farinelli?
Okay,
yeah. I was King asking the questions and stuff. I think about that every night when I go to bed, and no, I think about that scene sometimes when I'm like trying to find a new scene. I'm like, I always like get caught up. I'm like, man, I should do that again, but branch out, and do other stuff. But
I mean, yeah, but it's also, I mean, it's not bad to go back to like older like duo scenes and monologues and stuff.
well, monologues 100%. Like you should try to find like, ones that suit you, and you should find monologues that suit you and that you want to audition with. You
know? So this is kind of writing off of a subject we had a while back, so I'm sorry for that in advance. Yeah. But has there been a game, show, story, like anything that distinctively you remember that has made you sob, like, cry, emotional, like anything?
Sob?
There's
cry.
There's only one game that's ever done that to me, but I'll let Hunter talk. So
made me like super. Oh wow!
Like there's something that sticks in your brain that I cried to that.
A lot of games have made me cry, but not like a full on like breakdown sob. So
I don't. That's a bit more, but that was a strong word for me to use.
Okay, I wasn't sure. So I think. Okay, so a lot. I think my favorite one is God of War. I'm obsessed. But I think the first one that did that for me was Telltale's The Walking Dead.
No.
The ending of that. Dude, that, oof. I don't know if spoilers, it's a very old game.
I don't know if I'm gonna, it's an old game, B, I don't know if I'm gonna play it, but spoiler warning to anybody who's about to listen. Might wanna just take a second, so.
Big spoiler warning for the ending of Telltale Games The Walking Dead. When Lee dies in the end, oh my gosh, that hits very hard. That is the perfect example of seeing this character grow, and especially grow closer to another character in it, Clementine, who kind of becomes your surrogate daughter, just in the apocalypse world, you know. And at the end, Clementine has to kill Lee, and it's the hardest decision because you have to actively make the choice to tell Clementine to do that, and grow up in whatever small way she can, and you've taught her so many things, and seeing this last little moment between them where Clementine has to put an end to him is rough. It's really rough. And I definitely, my 13 or 14-year-old self playing that game, just sat back and was like, oh, man. I don't know what to do with my life now. I feel like I just lived an entire life.
Yeah, you just sit there and you're just you have that moment of pause, that just all happened.
Yeah, and now it's over. And what now?
Yeah.
It's a really weird feeling, and the fact that games can make me feel that.
There's for me, there's only one game that has ever made me because there are a bunch of games that made me tear up, just a little bit of made my eyes water a little bit, made me feel a little emotional. But only one game has ever made me lose control sobbing, and that is the scene that did it was the first cutscene from Chapter 7 of Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
I've never played it.
It's a really, really good game. I recommend it to a lot of people, though.
I've been told I should play it a lot, and I probably am going to.
I mean, there's a lot of critiques with this particular game that a lot of people have, but I like you know, a lot of the character designs are like designs that people don't like as much. Some people don't like the story as much, and towards the end I can kind of get it. But I love the characters, I love the story, I love the combat. It's a really good game. And right at the beginning of Chapter 7, there's some spoiler stuff that I'm not going to get into in case you do want to play the game. But basically, character goes missing, and the main character is completely, like, distraught about it, and is, like, ready to completely give up on this adventure and just go home, and, like, go like live out his life doing whatever else, and everybody else is sitting there going, no, you shut up, you go find this person, and you are not going to give up. Do you not remember the promise you made to this person, you idiot? And it just like in fact some of the characters actually have to get violent with him because he's just being a sad sap, and that scene hit me like so hard because I love all these characters, and it's like seeing them have this like conflict, this crazy conflict.
Well.
Was heart-wrenching. So I was actually like crying, full tears, audibly sobbing by the end of that cutscene, and the cutscene ends, and it just puts you in the gameplay, and I have to sit there rearranging my party to account for this character being missing while sobbing my eyes out. Like,
and it's like, okay, I still have a thing to do, but now I don't have the person I want to do it with.
Yeah. So.
A game recently that gave me that kind of. Now I don't know about like that whole group conflict thing, but you mentioned way in the beginning Final Fantasy, and I have been obsessed with those games recently, especially 7 Remake, because I'm a fanboy, I guess. And simply listening to the prelude at the main menu of that game will make me tear up. Like, thinking about the whole arc of the entire game is, I can't describe it, and it's so hard when you don't want to like spoil stuff in case anyone decides to like play it. But also, probably no one listening to this is gonna go and I'm gonna go play Final Fantasy VII Remake.
I'm gonna go play Xenoblade 2 because Chase said
exactly. But still, you don't want the off chance that you just like ruin this beautiful experience for someone.
My favorite quotes from one of my friends. We all saw Avengers Endgame together, and that was a movie I would say I definitely cried to. After we saw the movie and everything, after like everything was said and done, we were in a Discord call, and he goes, "Yeah, at one point in the movie, like one of the climax moments, I turned to my right and I just see Cohen sobbing, and I'm like, yeah, that was the truth." And I'm just saying, like, I wasn't like sobbing, like audibly crying, but I was just sitting there, like, with my eyes just wide open, looking at the screen with tears going down my face.
So I kind of. Oh wait, you weren't done. Continue.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, in a video game moment that made me cry was there's 2. The Last of Us series has made me cry.
Oof.
Because I love, like, I don't know, like the whole relationship stuff that gets built up, and like how it gets tumbled down or how it gets tested. That stuff just, it hits me. And one that would have hit me so much harder was the ending of Chapter 6 to Red Dead Redemption 2. I would have cried a lot more if it weren't from one of my friends texting me, "Hey, get on Fortnite," the entire cutscene.
I have my gripes with Fortnite. Not a fan of that game.
Connor and I have been picking it back up again recently, but it's I can still understand why a lot of people don't like it. So
I just don't. It's purely meant to make money. There's no other reason. It's not to advance a medium forward to tell greater stories that need to be told. It's for money.
It's for money. I agreed. I've just been starting to have a lot of fun with it recently, so it's just.
Yeah, that's fair. It's a game.
Yeah,
have fun with the game. Yeah.
So.
See, I think, in my opinion, the superior battle royale video game is Apex Legends.
Oh.
Man,
because it has lore, it expands the universe of Titanfall, and then it like has all these cool introductions, the backstories that all culminate, and I think that makes it a little bit better.
I played Titanfall so much when it came out. I literally got to it's not prestige in that game, they're called generations. And you have to do like 3 challenges or something after getting to the max level in order to then prestige to the next generation, right?
Yeah.
And I did it all. And some of them were very situational, and it was a nightmare. But I did it, and I was like 11 or something. I don't know. But I felt very proud of myself for doing that.
I'm excited. Those games are always so much fun.
This conversation has been going on for so long. I'm sorry to like cut it off, but like we are. How long are we running now? I don't even know. I need to look at the.
An hour.
50 minutes. We've been recording for 50 minutes. Is
that a record? Did we set a record?
I think so. The only person who's come close is Travis Spear, and he was like 45 minutes. So
world record, yeah.
World record.
In the world.
But yeah, if so I'm gonna ask the final question. If you had only one thing left that you could say to us who are still at RHS, what would you say?
Okay.
Like if like social media didn't exist or messaging didn't exist and you had no way of contacting us after this ever again, what would you say?
Quick clarification question.
Yes?
To RHS, like theater people or just everyone at RHS? Because
that's your choice.
Okay, to theater people at RHS, because I'm assuming more of them are listening to this.
Yeah.
Everyone at RHS. If you love doing what you're doing, acting, doing tech things, directing, whatever you're doing for the theater department, if you love doing that, do not stop for any reason. If someone says it's not a viable option for your future, don't stop. If someone says the likelihood is very low that you'll actually make it in this field, don't stop. Because the only people that don't make it, and the only reason that it's not as viable, is because people stop. So if you stop, then you're never going to make it. And if you don't stop, then your chances go way up. And if you're just doing theater because it's a fun community, cool.
Yeah.
We need people that just enjoy theater. So thank you for doing that. But for the people who are like super passionate about the art form and want to continue doing it, that is my advice. Very cheesy, but there it is.
Yeah, and with that, I think that's a fantastic place to end today's episode. Thank you for coming on the show today. It's been a wonderful time chatting with you. I'm probably going to have to cut down all the video game talk a little bit just because that went on for a while. With that, I'm Chase.
And I'm Cohen.
And I'm Hunter.
And yeah, everyone, thank Hunter one last time for coming on the show, and we'll see you for the next episode, which will be probably the final episode for the year, coming out mid-next month. So
season finale.
Yes,
Crazy.
the season finale. So yeah. Thank you, and goodbye.